Okay, then. So today, to begin with, hi everyone. We can have a practical session actually. How to create a backlink by yourself, but it has to come from your side. I believe somebody might have some network issues. Somebody might be logged in through mobile, and once you guys are ready, might be today is Thursday, right? Even if it is tomorrow, Friday, if you guys are ready, we can go for a practical training session on how to create a backlink. Okay, how to create a backlink for a SEO chapter that we can able to view, that we can able to see, might be might be the next class when once you are all ready. And for today, let us explore on some details, about what are the some of the factors which will be coming under the SEO chapter, and which might be helpful while we are going to do some somewhat a better projects. Okay, all right. Okay, so we are going to continue with SEO, search engine optimization. So last class we had seen about on-page optimization, like how to, what are the things that we will be doing in the website. So those things will be. Can you? Okay, done. So the music is higher. Okay, I will reduce it. I can understand. Okay, hopefully this can be possibly helpful. Okay, now to begin with, in the last class we had learned about how to do a SEO on-page optimization, and then we had seen about how to do a off-page optimization practically for a company. Practically how to create a backlink from a website, right? And these are the things which are highly essential for SEO process. Okay, so what we have to do it in the on-page optimization, and what we have to do it for the off-page optimization. So these are the essential parts. Okay, and apart from these, there are few more things which we have to concern while we are going to do a SEO process. So what are those? Those are the things that we are going to see now. So the first thing is canonicalization, and then we are going to see the sitemap.xml. And after the sitemap.xml, what we are going to see is on the chapter of schema markup language. Okay, so these are the three things that we are going to see now. So what is canonicalization, what is sitemap XML, and what is schema markup language? So the canonicalization is something, for an example, let us say there are two pages which are having the same data, and we want to showcase the Google that this is a particular web page that we want to project for the keyword. Suppose, for an example, if in case if the two pages are there and both are targeting the same keyword in the same website itself, then probably the Google will try to find out the mismatch, and sometimes it will rank this page and sometimes it will rank that page, and it will be something like a competition between internally between the same links. Okay, in order to avoid that, among these two web pages, we will be conveying to Google that this is the particular page which is important, and which is important that we would like to target the keyword for, and the other one is not so important, so we don't require to consider the other web page for this particular keyword. Okay, so this is what we will be doing it in the canonicalization. Okay, so let me to show you with an example. There is a website. Okay, so once when once we had somehow visited this website, I had given this location something like Darjeeling. Okay, so I had given us Darjeeling, West Bengal, India. So once I had made the search, so immediately the search URL will be changed to njfoods.in slash search area and Darjeeling, West Bengal, India. Okay, so this is the keywords that has been included in the search results itself. Okay, so considering that if there are some lot of data which are available in this particular web page, right now there is nothing. Consider that there are a lot of data which were available in this page. Okay, so when people are searching for Darjeeling, West Bengal, India, okay, we had separately created a page in this particular website. In this particular website, enjoyfoods.in slash, we had created a separate page which we had created under the name of Darjeeling, West Bengal, India. Okay, so this is the web page we had created. Let us consider. Okay, so in this case, what will happen is when some people in Google Search Console, when they are searching for Darjeeling, West Bengal, India, food delivery. Okay, so what will happen is, for this particular search term, the Google will try to bring the web pages from all the websites, hopefully, whichever the website having a higher rating and higher ranking. And if enjoyfoods.in has two web pages which are, targeting the same keyword, then probably Google will get, confused about which particular URL that it has to show. So one is from the search result and the other one is from the page which has been specifically created for the keyword. So in this case, how we can able to show the Google that, we had separately created a page, and this is the page, and this is the page that we are targeting for the keyword, and don't consider the other part of the other websites, which are all competing with the particular keyword. That's what we have to say, right? So how we can able to say, so that we can able to convey with the help of canonical tag. Okay, so that tag, if we implement in a particular page, that page will start to get a higher importance. Okay, so by that way, whatever the page that has been competing for the same keyword, if the other pages will be considered as a lower ranking, and it will be considered as a duplicate format of this particular web page, and so that those particular links will be omitted, and only the page which is having a canonical tag, that particular website, that particular web page will be shown. Okay, so that we can avoid the unnecessary competition. Okay, hopefully, hope you might understood what I'm trying to say to give you a clear picture. Okay, so here, I had taken a keyword search that is, food delivery in Coimbatore. So when I had seen this, the web pages which are all targeting this food delivery in Coimbatore, they are enjoyfoods.in, Enjoy Foods menu, Enjoy Foods in Gandhipuram, and menu Coimbatore food delivery like Zomato, Foodpanda, etc. So these are all the web pages which are competing for the same keyword, right? So luckily, Google considers that maximum amount of the impressions has went to a primary website, and we might thinking of targeting this particular website or this particular web page for the keyword food delivery in Coimbatore. Okay, or otherwise this particular web page we might be thinking of targeting for the keyword food delivery in Coimbatore, but instead there is some other page which has been shown in Google for that particular keyword. Okay, in that case, what shall we do? If we implement a canonical tag in this particular page, then instead of this primary page, this particular page will be considered as a higher weightage for this particular keyword search, and it will be shown at the top. Okay, so this is what we can able to do with the canonical tag, and let me to show you how we can implement a canonical tag. Okay, so here we have the canonicalization. So what are the best ways that we can able to implement a canonical tag? Okay, so the first thing is, there are multiple ways that we can able to say this particular web page is important. Okay, the first way is, uh, suppose for an example, right, let me to read out this sentence for you. It is something like, if you have a 10 pages, all the 10 pages we have to mention which is the canonical page. So by this way we can redirect the audience, we can redirect the ranking from that page to this page. Okay, so that's what you have been mentioned here. Canonical tag is a way of telling. Okay, I think this is just an example what they had did. So let us see the examples, something like here. Yeah, so this is also something like an example. Multiple versions of the same page, and Google gets confused on which particular page is important. And to make that clear to the Google search console, I mean to the Google search engine, we'll be using the canonical tag. Okay, all right. Okay, now the canonical tag can be of self-referring. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is one thing, one way through which we can able to communicate that this particular website is URL is important, and that can be done in the source code. In the place where the meta descriptions and meta title will be there. In that particular location, we can add a code which is called as link href is equal to http something like a primary URL. Okay, so by mentioning this, we will be conveying to Google that this particular the version of this web page is the canonical version by including the rel is equal to canonical. Okay, by this way we can able to communicate to Google that this is the primary website of this page, complete website, and please give the ranking for all those websites. Okay, it shows where we can able to identify the canonical tag, but let us go for identify what are the ways that we can use the canonical tag. Let me to check out the canonical URLs best practices. Thinking of liking, how does canonical tag affect SEO? It can directly influence search results directly. Canonical tag versus 301, and do canonical tags pass Jews? How to add a canonical tag? So here we have directly via HTML and using SEO used for WordPress. That is a different story. Use cases and self-referring canonical tag to fix URL parameter issues. Uh, Duplicate content issues. Okay, so here we have. So one thing is, we can implement the canonical tag for the website, whichever that we would like to show. Suppose for an example, there are 10 pages, and in each and every page we can implement that this is a canonical tag, and the page which is referring to the page which you are, the ranking has to be provided, has to be this page, that is page A, that is page A. Okay, so this we can able to provide in the header section of page A and header section of page B. So that means what will happen, whatever the pages that Google visits, the all the ranking or importance will be transferred to the page A. That's what it has been mentioned here. Okay, by mentioning the canonical tag in all the duplicate versions, and even the self referring version, so that which can able to provide complete ranking algorithm and importance to the website, web page that we would like to rank it for. Okay, so this is one method. And the next method is, we can also use a sitemap. Suppose, for an example, there are a lot of web pages might be there, but those web pages which are duplicates, if it is not listed in a sitemap, then Google can able to understand, this particular site link or this particular web page is important because it has been listed in sitemap. Okay, hope you might know what is a sitemap. Okay, if it is not, let me to give you an example. So sitemap.xml is a file, okay, so which will not be directly available in the website, but it will be found in the hosting account of the the website, and this can be accessed by any robot or even any browser. Okay, but the thing is we have to type it manually. We have to type it. It will be available for all the websites. So what this sitemap.xml file will be having? So this sitemap.xml file is nothing but a Word document which has been stored in the notepad, which has been saved under the file extension .xml. Okay, and in this sitemap, it will have all the URLs, something like, what are all the URLs of this website, like technicalseo.com and .com/tools, .com/tools/robots text, and then XML sitemap, fetch, etc., render, etc., etc. So it will have all the sites, all the pages which are all available in this particular website technicalseo.com will be available in this site. Okay, so if these websites, if these web pages has been deployed in this sitemap, and the other pages will not be considered as a primary version. So by this way, when there is some duplicate pages for something like, schema markup generator, there's something else, has something other versions that are also available, like for an example schema markup learning. We can able to, if that particular link is not listed in this sitemap, then the importance will be given to the site schema markup generator. Okay, so this is the other method of, how we can able to implement a canonical tag, I mean canonicalize, how we can able to solve the canonicalization error. Similarly, we have one more option, that is including it in the htaccess file. Okay, so this is the other way of, solving the canonicalization error. Okay, so how shall we able to do that? So suppose for an example, if there are multiple versions of the page, for multiple pages which are referring to the same domain. Okay, so that is a scenario. It can be for a primary domain, or it can be for any subdomain as well, so that's a different story. But everything has been leading to the same domain. So now, this domain.com slash and www.domain.com, everything has to be redirected to a single page, which is domain.com. Okay, so this is what our objective is. Right now, if you search for something, some website, for an example, even if you consider seoimage.com, if you type www.seoimage.com, it will be redirected to seoimage.com. Even if you type something like, www.seoimage.com/index.html, it will be redirected to as your image.com. Okay, so this redirect has been happening with the help of htaccess file. Okay, .htaccess file. So this .htaccess file will be available inside the web hosting account, and similarly, like how we save the sitemap.xml, this .htaccess file is a notepad file which has been saved with extension .htaccess. Okay, so in this .htaccess, what we will be having is, we'll be having the code which will represent, the other form of the web pages to redirect to the page that we are concentrating to. Okay, so this is the code through which, we can able to make the audience who are visiting from http www.domain.com to https www.domain.com. So even when people came to the non secured website, they will be redirected to the secured website. So this is the coding that we use in the htaccess file, so that, we can redirect the audience and whatever the ranking, everything, which can be redirected to www.http. I'm sorry, this is also referring to http, this is also referring to http, and all these things, to move a new domain, etc. And new domain.com, this is for new domain, and this is for canonical redirect. Okay, so it says http access.com slash. Okay, so if somebody instead, if they put a forward slash, but, I'm sorry, actually these are both the same. $1 http www.domain.com. So rewrite rule. Okay, http double slash www. Okay, okay, and redirect domain.com. Okay, awesome. So that's what it has been happened. So here, http www.domain.com has been redirected to domain.com. Okay, so that's what it has been implemented in this canonical tag. So if we want to implement this particular thing in our website, what we have to do is, we have to copy this code, and we have to we have to replace this domain.com with our own domain name, and from that, we can able to redirect the audience ranking, robots, and everything to the web page that, website that we are redirecting to. Here, the multiple versions has been redirected to the same domain. Okay, that's what it has been did here. And similarly, we have one more thing for what we have for the www and non www. suppose when people suppose when people were, creating suppose when people were using www.domain.com, and some people were using some www.something.domain.com, and those audience has to be redirected to the non www version of domain.com. Okay, so this can be implemented with this particular coding. What we have to do is, we just require to copy this code, and we have to place it in the .ht access. Okay, all right, fine. So similarly, we have a lot of other versions. Primarily, these all the elements might not be required for us. This is just for understanding purpose. So what is canonicalization, and how we can use the canonicalization method to avoid the repetition or duplicate pages. Okay, all right. So now let us go to the next chapter. So then the sitemap. So sitemap, hope we had already seen. So what is a sitemap, and how we had implement the, the website URLs in the sitemap, and how we save it, and with the file name extension .xml, and if we upload it to the web hosting, then based on what are all the links that are available, the sitemap, those sitemap we will be uploading in the Google Search Console as well. Okay, so that will help us to get the ranking. Uh, that will help us to submit a new web page which has been created in the website, that we can able to use it to submit to the Google search engine. So here, in the Google Search Console, we can able to see an option called sitemaps. So in this sitemap, what we have to do is, we have to upload the sitemap. So the sitemap has to be uploaded to the hosting account, and here we will be entering the sitemap name, like, sitemap.xml. Okay, so once we had entered this, and we go for a submit option. So the last update was somewhere, some last read was 29 to the 2020, and last submitted was something around April 1 2019. Okay, suppose if we had created some new links, and we had uploaded some new links, so those new links has to be, uploaded in the sitemap, and that we can able to go for the submit option. By making a submit, Google Search Console will pick the sitemap.xml for one more time, and it will if it finds out some new links, those links will be started to get promoted in the Google search engine. Okay, so that's how we can able to show the new links using the sitemap.xml file, and we can able to show it to the audience. Okay, all right, awesome. So this is what the functionality and use of a sitemap. Okay, done. So now the next chapter is about the schema markup language. So what is this schema markup language and what are the uses of a schema markup language? Suppose for an example, while we are searching for something like, I'm searching for a pen drive. When I had searched for the pen drive, these things you might be knowing. It's a sponsored ad, product sponsored ad. This is a Google advertisement, and this is from Flipkart. So this is pen drive, pen drive. It's right. This is pen drive. Let me to go for something like Lenovo Idea. Yes, 145. Okay, so here, in the organic search result, what we can able to see is, in this particular page, we can able to see the rating here, right? Rating of 4.2 from 3503 reviews. Okay. Similarly, there's other rating for this one as well. Okay, 3.2 for 383 reviews. Okay. So this is a functionality of schema markup language. Okay, so this is a function of schema markup language. And similarly, there are a lot of other functions which are available for schema markup language, and those things will be Google Search Console. I mean, Google robot will be finding all those data from the web page, and it will publish it online. And this process can be done with the help of uh, what we call the code which we will be using it based on the schema markup language generator, that can able to help us to create tags and which we can implement in our web page, and through which we can able to show the Google the things whichever is necessary. For an example, right now I'm going to search for contact number of TV9 Canada, Reliance Digital, and Academy, Club Factory. Okay, let us give Club Factory and see what is the result. So this is not exactly the thing that we are looking for. Okay, so here I had searched for the contact number of Amazon. Okay, so here I have the the website contact details like 1800300 and a 9009. Okay, so this is the website address from which this data has been picked up. Right now it requires us to log in, and then only we can able to see the content or contact us details. Okay, but suppose how we can able to show the Google that this is the contact number of this particular website. Okay, so those scenarios, and we can able to communicate this is the address of the company, and this is the something like the price range that our company is into, and this is the reviews that this company and we are doing with. So all those data we can able to show it to Google with the help of schema markup language. Okay, so let us take it let us learn something more on this particular chapter. Okay, so I'm going to create a new schema markup language for an already existing web page. Okay, so whatever that we are going to create using the schema markup generator, it is not going to affect the visual area of the web page. So that means customer is not going to be get affected. So what are the things that I can able to create? I can able to create a lot of things. Like there is an option for creating a breadcrumb. I will tell you what is this breadcrumb. Okay, so right now when we say breadcrumb, when I'm searching for something online. Okay, like for an example, I'm searching for used, no, no, not used, and buy mobile line. Okay. So when I had searched for this buy mobile online, so what are the results I have as an organic search results are something over here, and let me to check it out. So what is the link that they have here? The flipkart.com has been mentioned as flipkart.com/mobile phone store. So exactly the same here. When I had seen here amazon.com/mobile phones, same. Okay. So when I see here, here also it is same category and mobile phones, Sangeeta mobiles. Okay, so smartphones is one option here. This is also okay. So here it is different. So when we see this Reliance Digital in, and it has a category smartphones, and when we click this particular link, it will go to Reliance Digital in smartphones C $10. I'm sorry, C slash yes 101711. Okay, to have a check, let me to click this and explore. Okay, so when I clicked it, the URL is exactly Reliance Digital.in smartphone slash C slash yes 101711. Okay, this is the URL that that the Reliance has, but in the website it has been shown as Reliance Digital.in smartphones. Okay, so this is how the Reliance Digital.in smartphones has been displayed in the Google search. This can be created with the help of breadcrumbs. Okay, in the website. So here is the other example. So paytmmall.com, and it is showing a data called mobiles, tablets and accessories. Okay. So this is how they had been displayed in the Google search engine. But when we click this link, it will be taking to paytmmall.com slash mobiles hyphen glpid hyphen 6224. So that is how it will be shown. Okay. So we can notice here paytmmall.com slash mobiles hyphen glpid 6224. Okay, so this is what we are doing it with the help of breadcrumb. So how does Google had identified that instead of this mobile phones glpid 6224, we have to use mobiles, tablet and accessories. That data will be available in the breadcrumb. Okay, so this is the breadcrumb for this website. So home and mobile tabs and accessories and mobiles, this is the breadcrumb that they had used in this web page. And from this breadcrumb, Google had taken and it had shown the link which is appropriately which has been mentioned in the category rather than the actual URL which the audience are going to be redirected. Okay, so this can be implemented with the schema markup language. When we inspect this particular segment, we can able to identify what is the schema markup language that has been used here. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let us copy this URL and let us identify what are the schema markups that are available in this particular website. So this is the web URL that I'm about to create, and the page name that I'm going to provide is mobiles and accessories. Okay, and then page 2, which might not be required for us. This is just for a demo purpose. So once we had entered the details, we have a code in the right hand side. This is a script which is available, which we can able to copy and paste it in the header section of the website, and by which we can able to implement the breadcrumb option. Okay, so hopefully this is the same thing which we might be able to see here as well. So this is a schema markup language which they had implemented for this Paytm Mall. So here, you can able to see they had implemented something like they had provided the Facebook link. This is the other type of schema markup that we are going to learn very soon. And before that, let us see what is the breadcrumb that they had used. So here they had used in such a way that when people are searching for the breadcrumb has to be shown in such a way that it has to uh, okay. So there are a lot of schema markup language that are, let us do one thing. Let us copy this and we will try to find out what are all the schema markups that are available. Schema markup generator. We can probably have a schema markup viewer. Okay, anyway, let us have a check. And before that, Google testing tool. So I'm going to enter the URL here and I'm going to run the test. Okay, so now when I had running this particular web page, so this is a Google structured tool, data tool, the data testing tool, which can able to help us to identify what are all the schema markups that has been used. So these are all the key schema markups that has been used in this particular website. Okay. So these are all the complete schema markup languages that has been used. And so what are the benefits of these schema markup language, which will be available in this particular right hand side category? So they had applied for the organization details and they had applied for the breadcrumb and they had applied for the list items and they had applied for the website as well. Okay. To begin with, let us see what is they had implemented in the breadcrumb. So the breadcrumb they had used something like the name has to be mobiles, tablets, and accessories, and the link has to be paytmmall.com, mobile phones, accessories, GLPID, etc., etc., etc. Okay, for this link, they have to use a schema. I mean accessories. The breadcrumb to be mobiles, tablets, and accessories. Okay, all right. And now after this, they had used the name home for the website https paytmmall.com. All right. And then now let us see the what are the other things that they had implemented. Let us see what are the things that are available for the organization. So for the organization they had implemented the data. What are the data that they had implemented? They had implemented contact type as customer service, and the telephone number they had implemented in the schema markup. And similarly they had mentioned as something like what are all the social media pages which are available. So those things they had linked listed here in the in the header section like LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and etc. And they had given the logo image reference. So they had given a link and saying that this is the particular link which refers to the logo of the particular organization and the URL, primary URL of this website, and name of the company, that is Paytm Mall. Okay, and what is it? It is an organization. So these are the data which has been provided in the company, provided for the website paytmmall.com. Okay, all right. Now similarly, they had given a lot of item list and they had provided the specific URL for the item list as well. And those data we can able to see it here. So what are all the items and what is the link that is associated to the particular item. So those data were available here. Okay. So this is one of the data that they had implemented for all the items, whatever that they would like to provide as schema markup language. So these things will be shown in the product list in case if it is shown in the organic list. Okay. In case. and what are the data that are related to the website, those has been created in a schema markup language with the help of what is the URL and what is the type of the action that has to be done, and what is the template usual query that when people are searching for, how the query will be. So it will be like shop slash search question mark equal to query is equal to. So by this way, Google can understand that this is a search query, not it is not a URL. So those data were available here, and similarly there are other versions were available, like where we have to refer, and what is the value slug that has been used, and all those elements were there. Okay, so this is what the benefit of schema markup language. And once we had implemented a schema markup language, it can help the Google to understand how something like what are all the data that Google is looking for. It does not require to search for it, rather it is just like taking and giving it to the Google. So that's what the work has been done by schema markup language. And some of the important data, like what is a breadcrumb and what is a breadcrumb that we have to use it for the link, and all those data will be much more clear when we are going to use a schema markup language. Okay, all right, now that's great. So now the thing is, what we are going to do is we are going to generate a schema markup language for a web page. Okay, for a new web page we are going to generate a schema markup language. So there are a lot of options which we can able to use for a schema markup language. And right now I'm going for the organization details. And in this organization details, I'm going to choose what is the type. So right now I'm going to choose something like an airline organization, and I'm going to write it for something which is more specific. And I'll be writing it for the organization which is tripwise.com. I don't think there will be a logo file. I have to find it and track it. So right now, not to give these details. Okay. So that's all. This is good enough details right now. So let us go for it. Or else, do I require to give all those details? That's all. So what I have to do now is just to copy the script and paste it in the header section of the file. Okay, so that's all I have to do. By doing that, I will be communicating to Google that this is the website name, this is the company name, and something like this is a logo URL, etc. So all those data will be available. So right now, this is the logo. So by this way, Google can understand much more clearer data than anything else. And here I had mentioned the airline as airline organization type as airline. Okay, so by this way, the Google can able to understand much more clearly about about the organization that we are running, and what are the factors which belongs to what. Okay, all right. And now we are going to see how the review kind of factor is going to be created. Okay, so the review is much more easier, and which will be not exactly like how we are picking it from the website. So when I had seen here, I can able to notice there is a rating here, right? So how does this rating has been shown in the search result? So here we have a rating, and it says 5 rating by 227 reviews. Okay, anyway, it's noting the same. Anyway, it's like something like 500, and I mean it says 227 reviews for for the 5 ratings, but it shows something different. It shows something like 4.2 for 389 reviews, right? So how does that change of reviews has been shown in the Google? So to show in the Google the review part, what we have to do is all we have to do is we have to implement the schema markup language. That's all. Okay, so here we have the data. So this is a data which we had configured using the schema markup language. So here it says the total review count has to be 948. Okay, and the rating value should be 5. Okay, and average rating they had not given. I think anything aggregate rating they had not given, but rating value they had given us 5. Okay, so the review count has to be 948. So this is a configured data. This is not an actual data. This is a configured data. Even tomorrow if you see, it is going to be the same. Okay, so that is the data which has been shown in the search result as 5 rating and 948. So this will not be there inside this page. This is a different product. Here also it is 948 5 rating. How could that be possible? It is not practically possible, but it has been configured using the schema markup language. So that can increase the trust score of the audience by implementing a rating, a star rating schema markup language in the website. But practically that is not the real value. But probably Amazon might showcase the real value. Let us see how does that happen. So it is 2175 now. So here it is 2314. But what has been shown is 2175, right? So that has been. So here we have V rating. Okay, so anyway, it took time, but usually, hope you might understood how to create a review and how to provide the review data to the search console. It is through the schema markup language. All right. Okay. Awesome. So now, if you have any questions, you can ask me now. So right now we had covered the 3 chapters, that is canonicalization and sitemap, how to create a sitemap, and how to create a schema markup language, and what is the benefit of schema markup language, and how the breadcrumbs and the reviews are working using the schema markup language. So okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask me now, and if it is not, we can wind up for today, and we can meet by tomorrow. And probably if you guys are ready and with your proper tools or something, we can tomorrow practically create a backlink for a real time project, so that can build up your confidence. All right.
Today was a bit of technical overdose.
Okay. Overdose. Acha,
So I
okay.
think, yeah, I mean, probably push, at least I personally would like to also again go through this
Okay.
and probably
Okay.
ask questions tomorrow.
Okay, awesome. Looks great. Looks great. So this is just for understanding proper purpose. The main important things has been already educated. So these chapters are a bit advanced and might be doing in our future longer and not so critical.
Okay, but I guess you'll upload the recording right now, I guess, in the
Hopefully,
software.
hopefully, yes, this will be recorded and will be shared.
But when did we do the on page? Because yesterday we did off page.
Yes.
Tuesday we did not. Tuesday we did not do the session, right? No.
On page we had already completed. I think day before yesterday we were working on page. I think.
The day before yesterday we did not do the session.
I mean, it's about how to create a title and how to create a URL and how to create the description of the website, meta descriptions, which is there inside the coding. I think that is the first chapter of SEO. So we had touched the on-page optimization, I
Yeah,
think.
first is
If it is missed, not a problem. We can have the session by tomorrow. Tomorrow probably we can have the touch of on-page optimization one more time, and probably if it comes from all the people, and definitely we can have a one more touch on the on-page optimization. That is how to do an on-page optimization for a page, for a website, and based on that we can take it to the next step. Okay, all right, guys and team, and thank you very much for today's session. And hope it will be useful. And go ahead and have an experiment. And if you have any doubts, let us come back and discuss on further. Okay, let us meet by tomorrow's class. Take care.
okay. All right.
Thank you, Kishore.